And some of the questions I'll ask of the data quality team can be like challenging in some cases, where I'm saying, how many ETL failures did you have last month? And are they increasing or decreasing? And are we even keeping track of that? How many adverse data events did you have that were third-party data related? Which vendors? And they're like, oh, well, we would have to go out and get that data. It would take us a long time. We don't really keep track of those things. And I think that keeping track of them is not as difficult as a lot of people think. And I also want to know, how many people did it take to solve this problem? How many reports were impacted? How many people are looking at those reports? There are ways to be able to pull these things together, and so that you can apply a cost to these adverse data events and then present that to leadership, who had, in many cases, never been aware of the load of quality issues and non-value added activities that the team is carrying for these type of events. And usually what I find after a few months of being able to pull this together at the end of the month, they're very excited to show leadership, because leadership is now saying, this is unacceptable, we're going to do something about it. Whereas in the past, we were surviving these events with very little transparency.
So you raise a very important point, is collecting the data. Like at OvalEdge, we have this whole catalog, and as well as the data quality submission process is there. So when you report the problem, the context is automatically captured. You're reporting the data problem to be. You can conduct the root cause analysis using lineage, etc. So the features, functionalities are there, which is like all these things can come out of the box if you're using OvalEdge for your reactive data quality understanding. One of the problem I face in reactive data quality is you have 20 tickets or 100 tickets, which is lined up there. How do I prioritize this? Is there a framework you want to suggest which can be used to prioritize? A lot of events are there, so that I can focus on what is most critical, and how do I know which is most critical? So if you want to shed some light on that part.
To know what is critical, it's really about what report. When you've got a governed data environment and somebody reports a data quality issue, there's a couple of things that I try to employ, and that is, what is the criticality of this report? And we do that during our report curation process. When we have reports that are in our production environment, we have spent an average of $10,000 to $15,000 to build that asset. And therefore, we're going to respond and care for the health and well-being of that asset. And that means keeping track of the criticality, the audience size, so that we know the impact. If suddenly the revenue on this dashboard for February has disappeared, we need to respond with urgency. We need to be able to reinstate that, and we need to communicate. So it's exciting when you start communicating proactively. You might have revenue disappear on a dashboard, and if the audience has 50 people, you'll get 20 tickets of data quality opened immediately. But it's really only one issue. So on the first issue, we're going to take a look at that. We've got a triage team that's standing by. We triage it and communicate. When you have OvalEdge and you've got your lineage set up, there's a lot of features in that tool that are really going to help identify the root cause quickly. You're going to get capacity back. We can then do an impact analysis upstream to say, where is this coming from? Who do I need to talk to? I've got an owner and a steward for communication. And then what is it impacting downstream? It's not just that dashboard. It's 7 reports. Who's looking at the reports? 14 people, 45 people. We have a template that we send out and say, hey, we know that you're looking at this. There is an adverse data event. We're working on it, and we'll let you know when it's in good standing. Getting that communication is what really raises the respect of your data consuming audience on those reports, to know that they have a solid data team behind these assets.
Thank you. That's really important to understand how do we prioritize things. Having the business impact is the most critical factor. I totally agree with you that we need a mechanism to understand that the business criticality and focus on the business criticality rather than IT criticality. Sometimes we focus a lot more on IT rather than on the business side of the problem.